what baha'u'llah is saying, you know. These guys are from that time they were around. And believe me, those guys are here right now. They could be the member of Universal Laws of Justice. They could be the counselors. And they're out there and they're going to hurt you like he did. Willingly and willingly, I don't know, but hurting hurts. Okay? Many thousands knives if would have gone in my heart by the hand of the Muslims, I would not sigh. But those things that the Baha'is, they did to me. In the local and the national and even in the universal. It hurts, my dear. It has permanently damaged part of my soul. You do not understand what kind of a disease I have. It is only Baha'u'llah's curing me. For the most important thing that is in my life, which is the Baha'i faith and Baha'u'llah, I'm actually called the enemy of Baha'u'llah. I can't communicate. What do? Go teach the Baha'is, send them to assembly and this and that. Then there's a division. Don't tell them all the truth. It's a problem. So I finally decided to do what I do, and you have to do the same thing. When you know there has to be universal laws of guardianship and membership of the women elected by the Baha'is in the world, you know, for the balance of the power, as it is written in a book, and #1 video explains that to you. Do not tell to anyone that you heard it from me, because we don't want another 2x4 going to fight with the saw. It's just going to get shredded. Don't. Baha'u'llah says, in Persian poetry says, گفت الله ای لسان مرد نکو رمز حق در نزد نادانان مگو. Said God, O the man, O the tongue of the mystery of God, do not say the mystery of God and the secret of the truth to the oblivious. They can't handle it. Then he says, گفت الله ای لسان الله راز نرم نرمک گوی با مردم بساز. Said God, O tongue, did you carry this mystery of God? Talk softly and compromise, he says, with people. There is no point complaining from the Baha'is. If you do, you got a problem. You don't know how to drive the road, you're hitting people. It's like a street full of drunks or coming from all the way, but you have to go. When they hit you, you have to know how to drive. If you hit them, it's no good. Use techniques, as he said, Baha'u'llah. Do not tell the secret of the truth to the oblivion. It says, talk softly and compromise. 3 things it says. Remember this. It is for the cause of God. It is not for me. Do not bring my name around that I am this and that. Be ashamed of yourself to say that about me. Let me tell you how I feel. Imagine there's a huge king, king of England, I don't know, emperor of Japan. He hates so much in his castle that every day people are telling him up and down. He's tired of that. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. He's just tired. He disguises himself. Put some wigs, put some dyes and a mustache, whatever. He wants to go out in Tim Horton and have a coffee. So nobody bothers him, nobody knows. And he spent a lot of money to do this. And he doesn't say to anybody because he knows under this disguise no one knows him. Even his guard, they're not around. But some guy, some smart fellow, I don't know, smart ass, he knows, he's king because whatever, something he saw that he knew he's them. And he comes to say to that king, sir, imagine what that king feels. He really is disgusted with the fact that he's been recognized by this fellow when he came as an ordinary man. I feel like that king. Don't try to bring it up who I am. I'm nothing. Just like every other person in the world. Lowest in the rank. What I believe in the spiritual realm, there is no up and down. The moment up and down comes, be sure of it, you're in the material realm. In the spiritual realm, there is no up and down. There is no left or right. There is not high or low. Baha'u'llah, because we call him Daddy. Hi, Dad. And he says, hi, lad. Who can distinguish between us who's better, who's right? If you say to my father, your son is lower than him, he doesn't like it. If you tell me your father is lower than him, I don't like it. I just don't want it. Be like that when you're teaching. Remember, the virus of people, they try to feed your ego. Oh, you're so great, you're this, you're that, you're that. Immediately the person who's trying to tell you you're big, tell him that, what are you doing? Trying to feed my ego so that I'm bigger than you and you want to be lazy, bastard, not doing anything? Just if I'm big, learn from it and go and do big yourself. Don't try to tell me that I am big, therefore there's an excuse that you can't do things. All right? These are all experiences that I have. I'm just going to share with you. I wrote a few notes here for myself. So let's talk about a few things about this power of teaching. I've heard a lot of excuses. I have to explain these things. Remember, my brother, my sisters, my children, my father, my mother, whoever you are, friends, teaching Baha'i faith is a general ability. No one is gifted with it. People are gifted materially. Gifted to be a scientist, gifted to be a musician, gifted to be a painter, an actor, scientist. They're not gifted to be good. Goodness is not a gift. You got to earn it. So it's a general ability. Look at the real estates. Let me make an example. I've seen in real estate, old lady, young lady. I've seen people with accent, East Indian, Chinese, can't even speak properly. They're number one, real estate people. There are all kind of people. All of them that achieve and they sell their houses. You know why? They all share one thing, enthusiasm. They want to make the money. Okay? And they've studied what people they want. So, all of us, they can. Learn teach your children from the childhood. Never mind about this prayer and fasting and other things. Of course they are important, but nothing close to the most important obligation for a Baha'i. Nothing more important than that. Everything else is poof. Teaching the faith of God. Bob says once you teach one person, all your sins are past. Even if you kill people. That big of a deal is that. So teach the children from childhood. Teach them salesmanship. How to exchange. How to, convey the message. All right? Because if you don't do that, I'm just going to go, this is the solution for you in this life. All the attributes comes in this life. Biggest problem people have, they're worried all the time, especially at my age. They sleep and they think, oh, what happens to this mortgage, to that? You do not have those problems if you're in teaching. You feel rich. Okay? Richness is special richness. You're insulated against all these problems. A big issue for the psychologists. How make people happy? How make them not to fear? How make them to have confidence? Solution is teaching. Teaching the cause. Psychologically, spiritually, you become so big, so high. That's the greatest reward for you in this life. You reach your maximum capacity, which is the definition of paradise in this life, okay? And the next love, is between you and God, of course. It'll be better. So, you have to understand, Baha'i faith is like nature. Nature is made by God. The same God has revealed Baha'i faith. So, if you present it in a raw material, you may, but that's classic way. Like a real estate going to sell the tree, selling the mountain, selling the lake. People say, great, beautiful, but we can't live here. They get confused, especially so big. So you have to study Baha'i faith to see what the people want, and try to, as I told you in the beginning, number 4, in philosophy, you have to mold it. You have to make a Toyota. Just you make a Toyota out of the nature and this house out of the nature. Make that product out of the Baha'i faith that is useful to this man that he's looking at. You know, one day they told me that you go teach this communist. I told him he has weakness. He has need. He doesn't recognize his needs. I talked to him. He's like, religion? Oh yeah. Opium of the society, he says. I told him, my friend, have you heard so many kids in Toronto, they grow up, they become gay, they get into drug, they become Jehovah's Witness. Jesus, they leave their family, they go to another religion. Have you read about that? If you haven't, look at it. There's a lot of problem between the parents and children in this open society. That's one of its disadvantage. He said, yeah, what religion can do? I told him this. Before your boy becomes 15, he may not look like you. He might look like his uncle. Before he goes and learn religion from somebody else, then he thinks his dad is foolish and that guy is better than his dad, more than his dad. You don't want that. If you don't want that, go learn the religion. Go learn it, even if you don't believe it. Teach it. Learn it good. And find out which one is the proper one. And teach the boy so he knows that his father taught him. He didn't need to go somewhere else. With which comes a lot of other things. He said to me that I never thought about it like that. I'm going to have to think about this. I said, if you love your children, because I know you do. So, Gerard is studying the need of the people. They don't know themselves. Then you can present him with what area is the Baha'i faith coming. Baha'i faith is that nature. That's just like we need in the nature, and we live in a house. We have to have a house made out of Baha'i faith for ourselves. And a spiritual house. We live in it. We teach in it. We reside in it. We protect ourselves against the viruses and this and that. So, this is another point. So, once we understand this, then we can go and teach them properly. This is very important because in the some answered questions, one small phrase, words, I read it differently. Eh? He says that the religion is that natural necessity. He says it's based. The religion of God is made based on the necessary relationship, based on necessities, based on needs. It's not something